Hello again, everyone. So we're trying out a new seller and a new model brand. So this came off AliExpress, some seller Big Head Model Store. I think it's arrived safely. It's a virgin cardboard box. And the brand is going to be Hobby Japan. And it's supposed to be the Honda S2000 in here. So let's see if I got the right thing. I've got some paper. Oh, well that's nice. A little cleaning cloth. And a tiny screwdriver. That's a first. This is junk though, I don't know, seems like a waste to be honest with you, but I guess if you don't have a small screwdriver it could come in handy because it's probably screwed to a base. Alright, so that's wrapped with some additional bubble wrap, so yeah, I think this seller knows what they're doing. I'd be confident in buying from these guys again. Okay, so Hobby Japan is my first one from these guys. I've kind of avoided these guys because, well, frankly, they're kind of pricey models. For me, they always seem to be hovering around $20 to $30. So, I don't know. It's just I'd rather get it. I've been buying Inno 64s instead, or just cheaper models in general. But you gotta try everyone out, right? You don't know if you don't try. So let's see here. In this box, nothing really special. Okay, so there's no printing here. This makes me think that this is not an official product. This is probably made on like a third shift or something like that because it doesn't have a barcode. Or it's a reject. Maybe it's a factory reject and that might be why it didn't cost $30. Alright, so the case here, seems pretty tight. I'm checking for tape. No tape. Alright, someone told me in comments you should try open it lengthwise because if you open it widthwise you might knock a mirror off, so I gotta try to remember that, and henceforth I'm telling you guys as well. So this is nice. We got a convertible top options, hard top or top down, and then we got the good old base here. So let's take this off the stand. It is an official Hobby Japan product, but it doesn't have any sort of stock keeping barcode. There is a little antenna there, so if you drop this model, you're SOL probably. Alright, so let's take a look here. Now I have personal experience with this car because one of my best friends had one of these things and he let me drive it. I remember the shifter was really smooth, like a shotgun bolt, not a shotgun, like a bolt action rifle. And it wailed really high RPM to get the power, so I didn't really like that. I prefer cars with a little more torque. But my friend loved it. He absolutely loved it. And we were unfortunately both in an accident with this car. Some lady decided to do a double U-turn, like she literally went from the slow lane to the other side of the road, crossing the fast lane and doing so, and we were in the fast lane and we ended up T-boning that lady in this car. Got a little bit of a whiplash, I think, on that one. So this first generation S2000, which came out in 1999 and was sold to 2003, is called the AP1 chassis code. And it's a front mid-engine, so the entire engine, the inline four-cylinder, which is 2 liters, it's behind the front axle. So that's what gives it the 50-50 weight distribution, and that's why people love driving this. My brother also had one of these, and he loved it. He had many cars, an M3, a Porsche, what else? An Elise. So anyways, he's had some sports cars, but he loved this car. Okay, what else? So also at the time, the JDM F20C version was making 123 horsepower per liter, making it the most powerful naturally aspirated power per liter. So, but unfortunately, you had to, whale the thing pretty high up in the RPM range to make that power. Okay, so that's all I learned. So let's get into this model. Look for the tires are really messed up. I think this front tire is actually bigger than the rear tire, and also it's got these crazy tread blocks. So now this tire is squished because it might have been screwed down too hard. These two tires look like they're the same size. What is up? I mean, am I crazy? This tire does not look like it belongs with this car. It's like it is the same tread though. Or is it? Yeah, it's the same tread, so I don't know what happened here. It's not good though. Sorry while I do this, but it's so distracting. I want to see what it looks like on this side. Well, that's better. I don't know what was happening on the inside. Now it looks like they're the same tires. And actually it looks less off-roady now, so that's a simple fix, guys. So if that happens to you, don't get too angry, just try flipping the tire around. Okay, well here on the fender it says S2000, and then we got some orange for the blinker, a little lint there. Recessed door handle looks nice, and a little keyhole is printed on. Really tight panel gaps, so that's really nice. Yeah, really tight. This is a really nice orange. It's an orange metallic, so I'm liking that. The wheels look really nice as well. There's a Honda logo in there, crisply painted. You can see the 5 lug nuts. It looks like it's a chromed. Well, I don't know if it's a chromed wheel. In this magnification it looks chromed, but to my naked eye it might be silver. I don't know. I guess maybe it is chromed. It's in between. It's a satin finish. I'm trying to see the reflection in the wheel, but no. It does look like there's a brake rotor back there. Let me spin this wheel. Yeah, and it's stationary. What's weird is there's no brake caliper. On the front there's a caliper. You can see a caliper there. It's the same color though. I don't know where oh yeah, here it is in the rear. It's right there. So that is good. Stationary brakes with calipers. Alright. So I'm liking Hobby Japan so far. Well, I don't remember this. What's up with these rectangles in here? But it's a piece of metal. And then behind it, I imagine there might be like a black radiator. Yeah, look, there's something behind that. Maybe this is why these things cost a lot, because there's a piece of metal in this thing. Okay, well, that is nice. And then we got these tiny, those sound like plastic inserts there. Okay, the headlights look nice. Well, hold on a second. Let's zoom in. You get a clear lens. This one looks like it's messed up. Alright, there's something, there's an air gap there. But then again, there's an air gap there. I don't think there's an air gap on the real one. I would have noticed something like that. So the fit and finish isn't the greatest there. But the lens does have some black printing on it. At least on the bottom. And then behind it there's an orange, like this turn signal area. And a black there. So it's alright. I'm under magnification, so you know it's easy to spot the flaws. When I just look at it in my hand at like half an arm's length away, it's barely noticeable. If I didn't magnify it, I probably would have never noticed. Okay, so that Honda logo is really nice. It's a foil sticker, I think. Unfortunately, it's not really horizontal. It's a little twisted that way, so that's too bad. Okay, so what's that? No, that's fine. A couple bumps here for the wiper fluid, but there's a scratch there, gouge in the casting, so that's not so good either. Okay. This side. Contaminant of some sort. Printing looks nice. This looks nice. Fuel filler on this side. Oh, nice. Reflective stickers in the mirrors. Sure, that one's not applied perfectly, but it was nice to have. Better than silver paint, at least. Okay, so this is great. I like the fact that it actually has something on the license plate. You got that little detail there. And then the exhaust tips are dimensional. They do go in a little bit. They're black in the middle, chromed on the outside, so very realistic. A little silver here on the key thing. That looks good. These taillights look a lot better than the front end. They're fit very well, right? And then you got orange and red lights behind it, so very nice. Look how far back those lights are compared to the lens. So that's very dimensional. You know, the black paint in there as well. Third brake light, yeah, well done. Well printed. This little plastic antenna, seems nice. Okay, tiny piece of glass here for the wind deflector. This thing has integrated roll hoops here. These things behind the seats in case you roll over. We'll get to the tops in a second. Nice seat. Dashboard looks alright. Unfortunately, no additional color. It's just all black. No decal or tampo in the instrument cluster. But it's your typical black molded plastic interior, so no complaints, I guess. Alright, so let's see on the bottom what's happening. So it's screwed together, so wheel changes or fixing those lights could be easier. And then there's a little T joint to keep the disc brake stationary. Yeah, decent underpinnings here. Would be nice to write S2000 AP1 here, but they chose to not do that. Does it roll? I'm sure maybe. Not really. Nope. No, I don't think that rear wheel moves at all. See? Oh, well, it sometimes does. So there's some sort of friction going on. And that's the result of having, I think, a lot of times the brake system. I would rather have a realistic looking model, so I don't care if it rolls. I'd rather have the brake system. If I want a roller, I'll just buy a Hot Wheels. Okay. So the tops. Let's see here. Get these things off. I guess top down. Well, we'll start with the top up because I'm going to display it on the rotary display with the top down. So it seems like there's two little pegs here, and this thing is just clear plastic and it's nicely printed or painted. But does it color match? You know, because it's transparent plastic, I don't know if it's actually going to match the vehicle. Can't get the other tooth in on the other side. Okay. Nope. So, boy, the fit of this thing. Let me try to do it this way. Okay. So you gotta slide it into the top first, above the sun deflectors, and then snap in the back. There are two pegs. So what I do like is it's relatively clear, actually, the glass. You can see the pick. But what's amazing is this actually has defroster lines printed on it, but they are now the best defroster lines I've seen in 164. They are so thin, they're as close to the real thing as I've seen. Like they're from arm's length away, I can't even see them. But here under magnification, they start to show up. I can actually feel them with the pick. That's the way they're supposed to be done. A lot of other brands have super thick ones and you can't see any of the interior, but look, you can clearly see the interior through those lines. So, very good job. Now, the only issue is, in certain light, this orange isn't matching because there's light shining through it, kind of, because it's transparent. Yeah, it's definitely not the same. Here it looks the same, but in certain light it just looks like a lighter orange because it wasn't painted like black first. Okay, well anyways, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys are going to display with the top up. If I buy a model of a convertible, I'm going to display it with the top down. Isn't that the reason why people buy convertibles? I think it's funny that a lot of people, well not a lot, but I do see some people driving convertibles but with the top up all the time. It's like, if you're going to do that, why don't you just get the coupe? Alright, now taking this off is a different matter. Alright, I pulled from the back first. So you can see there's two little pins here. So, now, let's get that tonneau with the top down. So this has two pins as well, it seems. That was a much easier fit right there. Okay, so that's how it should be. It's a soft top, by the way, guys, if you don't know. It's not a hard top convertible. This was designed before that was a common practice. Okay, so very nice. Let us get the spin thing. And this thing definitely deserves a spin of it on its on the solar spinner. Taking the inside line, and let's compare it to a couple other convertibles. So Honda actually a long time ago had this thing called the Honda Beat. We got the Beat, and it's a K car, so it's a 660cc, and this is made by a brand called Aoshima. It's a nice little model. It's cute, you know, being a K car. Look at the size difference, right? So, you know, K-Class, well, maybe you don't know, but K-Class cars are generally sold in Japan because it's a congested city, and Japan gives tax benefits for smaller displacement and smaller size because it doesn't, well, tax the roads as much. But, you know, the S2000 is a global product, so it has to be bigger, I think, to be sold in large countries with large freeways. Alright, so another comparable car I would think that maybe would have been shopped around would have been the first Lotus Elise. Yeah, my brother had one of these too. I think he had the second generation, not this first generation. This one's done by Kyosho, if you're not aware. So here's the Elise is a small vehicle. Okay. Unfortunately, Mini GT doesn't have their Mazda Miata out yet, and I'm just not going to put a Hot Wheels up here because it's way out of scale. But I guess the last one I can put up here is a Fiat 124, which is a different generation, but same kind of thinking, you know. Just a nice drop-top convertible, not particularly fast, but handles well. Or, well, I don't know if the Fiat handled well. The S2000 definitely handled well. But it's interesting, I'm now noticing the Fiat is actually a 2+2. I didn't even realize that before, but there's some tiny back seats back there. Okay, so that's it for the comparisons. Do a power slide around here. Well, you know if you need this model or not. You know, it seems like there's a lot of Honda fans in the collecting community. The reason why is because every time Hot Wheels releases a Honda, you guys go and buy all of them. I can never seem to buy one of those. The new Honda N600, is it? That's out. Anywho. Okay. So, I do recommend this model. It's nice. There's some quality problems, though. There definitely were. Which makes me think maybe these are rejects. This eBay, this AliExpress seller I got it from, these are priced a lot lower than what these things are usually priced at. And I have a suspicion it's because of these are rejects. You know, in particular that gouge right on the middle of the hood. So maybe that's just not good enough for Hobby Japan. Possibly this emblem being crooked, but I kind of doubt that, to be honest with you. Or maybe the way the lights are fit. Not so hot. But I'm actually still okay with it. I don't really love the S2000 enough to buy a regular, Hobby Japan release that costs 30% more money. But now that I have some experience with this, I think I will try some other Hobby Japans if I can get them at a decent price. I know they have a lot of cool castings. Alright then. Well, I appreciate you checking in, and we'll catch you on the rebound.